Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Patrick from DuelDimension, and I'm with my good friend DJ.
What's up?
So we came to review. It's been a while since I've done a Magic the Gathering review, so I figured the new Innistrad set was a good set to do a review on. So right now we have the Carnival of Blood deck that has black and red inside of it. So basically, inside of the deck, you're going to have 12 swamps and mountains that come with it. And the card in front of the deck is the Falconwraith Marauders. You'll get it foil. Cost 5, flying haste, 2/2. And whenever it deals damage to a player, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Basically, this deck, a lot of it has to do with you dealing damage and your creatures gaining +1/+1 counters, or you dealing damage and you gaining life equal to the amount of damage you dealt. So it's basically just like actual vampires.
Yeah.
So you'll also get 3 blood crazed neonates in here. So they're gonna cost 2 with a 2/1. They're gonna attack each turn, and basically whenever they deal damage, they're also gonna get a +1/+1 counter. You're gonna also get 2 blood seekers. So they cost 2, 1/1, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, they lose 1 life. These are pretty annoying, especially against the decks that I have.
I like them.
I hate them. Child of the Night. This is a card that we've all seen before. You're going to pay 2 for a 2/1, and it has lifelink. The Vampire Interloper, a card I personally would take out immediately, but you're going to pay 2 for a 2/1 flying that can't block, so good luck with that, I guess. So we're going to have 2 Rakish Heirs, which cost 3. And they're 2/2s, and whenever a vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, they get a +1/+1 counter. The Markov Patricians are going to be 3/1s that I believe cost 3 with lifelink. Crossway Vampires, you pay 3 for a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. The Falconwraith Nobles, right here. Gonna get 2 of those, pay 4 for a 2/2 flying, and whenever it or another creature dies, your opponent is gonna lose 1 life and you're gonna gain 1 life. And the Night Revealers, pay 5 for a 4/4, and it has haste as long as you have humans on the field, or your opponent has humans on the field. DJ?
Right. Got Stormkirk Patrol, cost 5. I'll hold that back up because I don't know if you actually can see it or not. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, it gets +1/+1. I actually like this one because I'm not entirely sure how many you get. Does it say you get 1 or
You get
not?
2.
Okay, yeah, you get 2.
Here's the other one.
I should just pull out the other one. That's actually one of the favorite ones that I came out with that one because that one I can link with the other counter stuff that I normally play with. Get Sengweir Vampire. It's cost 5, flying. When it deals damage, when this kills something, pretty much you just put a 1/1 counter on it, and it's 4/4. You get a Traveler's Amulet, just 1, just a nice artifact thing there. Cost 1, sacrifice it. Search your, pretty much just a searcher for a land card. 2 max of Avacyn. How would you say that? Avacyn. Cost 2. It's an equipment, and whatever you equip it to gets +1/+2 and hexproof, and it's equipped 3. Get Cobbled Wings. Cost 2. It's an equipment. Equip 1. It just has flying. Tribute to Hunger. It's actually pretty nice. Cost 2. And it's an instant. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, you gain life. This is one of the staple cards for this kind of deck because it's a life swap. Night Terrors, 2. Normal sorcery. Target player reveals hand. You get to pick something that's not a land and exile it. Fireball. We all know what this is because this has been around since
quite a while.
Yeah, that's been around. I don't really have to explain that. Tectonic Rift. This is another one that's people have either seen, but in case you haven't, 4. Destroy target land. Creatures without flying can't block that turn. Curse of Stalk Prey. Next to Marauders, this is pretty much the other highlighted card that you're going with. It's just 2, and it's an enchantment, and you enchant player. Whenever creature deals combat damage to a enchanted player, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. You obviously want to enchant the other guy and not you. Hope I don't have to clarify that. Traitor's Blood. think you get one of those. Sorcery, it costs 3, gain control of target creature until the end of turn. Untap it, it gains trample and haste until the end of the turn. Diabolic Tutor, this is actually, I like it in my black decks. Cost 4, search your library for a card and then put that in your hand and shuffle it. Just a good finder
Get
card.
a Liliana instead.
Oh, shut up, Patrick. If you don't have 12 Lilianas like Patrick does, then you can't really do much.
If you don't have 12 Lilianas, you're not good. I'm sorry.
And we just lost viewers. Way to make my first video suck, Patrick. Vampiric Fury, cost 2, pretty much just a beefer. Your vampire creatures you control get +2 in first strike. Pretty basic, but you can't really use it outside of a vampire deck. Gruesome Deformity, just 1. I've seen this quite a lot recently, actually. Enchantment just gains Intimidate.
So also, you get all of those cards, and just in my opinion, that is not a good deck to run on a daily basis, especially if you're playing with people with like 12 Lilianas. So
like Patrick.
So just 2 cards that you might consider putting inside your deck. The Feast of Blood obviously is a staple for any good vampire deck. You're gonna pay 2, and you can only play it if you have 2 or more vampires. But you're going to be destroying a creature and then gaining 4 life off of that creature's death. And also, I like the new cards that they added, the little
double-sided card
the
things.
flippy cards are nice, but make sure you have cases. So you're going to pay 4. This is a Bloodline Keeper, and you're basically you can pay tap it and get a 2/2 black vampire with flying. It also has flying. Pay 1 as long as you have 5 or more vampires, which should be easy in the vampire deck.
Yeah.
Flip it over, it becomes a 5/5. Flying still, that gives all your vampires +2/+2, and you can still tap it for the 2/2 vampire production.
My little 2 cards to add. Get this card if you're ever doing vampire decks, but 'cause that card's amazing. I actually like Absorb this. It's a good end gamer when you're trying to, if you have like 1 or 2 of these, because it costs 7. Target player loses 1 life, you gain 4 life, and it has land cycling. Not the best life sucker in the world, but if you need a good solid one, that's if you're trying to end the game, because vampire decks tend to lag on a little bit because they do chip damage. That can be a good end gamer because normally you're kind of torn and like, okay, dang it, I'm like, they have 4 life, I have like 3 life. I'll just play one of these end game, you kind of win. Another one that every person that has but plays black at all, that's like mono black or you're doing like direct damage. Piranha Marsh, it's a special land, it enters tapped, and it's pretty much like a swamp. It's just when it enters it loses 1 life. It's just, if you have 4 of these and you play all of them, I've noticed every time I'm getting 1 or 2 of those, it helps me out a little bit, softens up people.
So, DJ, what is your opinion on the vampire deck if you were to rank it 1 through 10, and why?
Especially considering that I like vampire decks, this one by itself, I'd probably rank it about a 6-ish. I mean, it's alright, because, I mean, you get a good staple cards, and the Marauders is actually a good card. They're giving you a lot of the new red vampires, because there are none prior to this, pretty much.
Yeah.
Marauders is a good card. This is kind of one of the decks where if you go out, get 2, maybe 3 if you have the money of the deck, or you kind of pick and choose your cards, or you got enough vampires from an old vampire deck to edit, it can turn into a really good deck. But as is, you can get shot down pretty much, because you don't have there's nothing in here right now that's a pretty big, like, you know, like a worm or something that's like, 8/8 trample or something.
Yeah.
So if you get anything that's pretty much above 7 or 6 even, you're pretty much shot.
Also, I would have to give this deck probably a 6 also, only because these cards are obviously not the best cards to start out with. It's obviously a theme deck, so you're going to have to build off of it.
Yeah.
But you get a majority of the deck costs 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Which is really good, especially for starters, because they're not going to know exactly how to strategize accordingly to getting creatures that are out that cost about 7 or 8, 6 mana, the bigger ones. And it's a good thing, though, because all the cheap ones have pretty good lifelink effects. They also have the +1/+1 counters, which also means that early game you can be dealing damage and making your creatures stronger for cheaper. And also, one more card I wanted to add that you have to put in his deck if you want it to be pretty good is no Soren Markov. I cannot believe I forgot the Vampire Planeswalker. In the Vampire deck, he is very good. Has amazing effects, and you can even take their turn. So you can have your turn and theirs too. So it's amazing. So Vampire, black, red, Feast of Blood deck, not Feast of Blood deck, Carnival deck. I keep forgetting, but we'll give it. I'm not gonna get sued. 6 out of 10. Pretty good deck.
6 out of 10.
I recommend buying it if you're one of the new players in Innistrad, but also look out for the big cards that we'll probably be posting a video about pretty soon.
Yeah.
So look forward to the new video coming up about the big cards to look out for in this new set. This is Patrick from DuelDimension. DJ also will be appearing in probably more videos, so get used to him.
So
subscribe and remember to keep the card games alive.